Bob Chapek in his memo to the staff talking about all the layoffs they were going to have, he had the strange line where it wouldn't affect Disney's unrivaled synergy machine.
I was gonna quote this actually because I do have his memo
Almost sounds like
here.
something that a human being would say.
Kevin, is that the Kevin AI?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So
It's just a
let
word
me read out just a couple of sentences of his memo that he put out to all of his managers and stuff. So there's a loads that comes before this, but like I'll get to the relevant bit. So it's first, we have undertaken a rigorous review of the company's content and marketing spending, working with our content leaders and our teams. While we will not sacrifice quality or the strength of our unrivaled synergy machine, we must ensure our investments are both efficient and come with tangible benefits to audiences and the company. We're limiting headcount additions through a targeted hiring freeze. Hiring a small subset of the most critical positions will continue, but other roles are on hold. We are reviewing our SG&A costs and have determined that there is room for improved efficiency, which basically means we're going to lay off a fuck ton of people, as well as an opportunity to transform the organization to be more nimble. So yeah, basically, if I was Chapek, right, and I wanted to get rid of these fucking activist arseholes that have infested my company, I couldn't have asked for a better time and opportunity than this. This would be the time to do it. Because you've got the perfect excuse. You can say, look, times are tough, the economy's contracting, people can't afford to spend as much on our products. We need to become more lean and efficient, and I'm sorry, we love you all, but we're going to have to let a few people go. And it just so happens that the people we're letting go are the most loud and obnoxious activists on social media. What can you do, eh?
Yeah.
Just that's the way it goes.
But he's got to have the sack for it.
Netflix did it. Netflix did it, and we'll see if it pays off. It seems like it has. There's still some legacy stuff. Witcher should just be canceled.
That show's fucked. That's
done. I think it's cooked. They'll do the fourth season and it'll be done.
Will they even do it though? Or
that's a good question. Because they have that prequel coming out, and that nobody's gonna watch that. Like, who in the hell wants to see some woke identity politics filled prequel without Geralt? That's everything Lauren Hisrich wants. She should have been fired after season 2.
Right.
She should have been fired after season 1. She was clearly fucking incompetent to tell a story.
Yeah.
But my prediction is season 3 ratings will be in the gutter because nobody's going to watch it because they know Cavill's leaving and they know the show's on life support anyway. And the showrunners will probably say, well, the ratings are so terrible, it's not worth our time even financially making season 4, and it'll get Batgirled, and it'll just get cancel fucked.
Stuff they announce all the time. That happens all the time. Announce doesn't mean shit anymore in Hollywood. We just talked about the Rian Johnson trilogy. That's been announced for the day it was announced. If you go now, there's kids going into kindergarten, going in the first grade from the time it was announced. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Oh, that is fucking hilarious. That is one of those things that's a face-saving measure where they can't say well, nobody fucking likes Rian Johnson, so we can't do his trilogy. So we're just going to quietly not talk about it, and people will gradually forget about it. But I think even recently he did an interview where he was saying I really want to direct another Star Wars film, but with no mention of his trilogy. And it's take the fucking hint, man. Nobody wants you. You're a disaster for Star Wars. You made the most unpopular Star Wars movie of all time. Be content with destroying that franchise by yourself and piss off.
It was an impressive job, honestly.
It really is. It's historic how many bad decisions were made within 2 movies. Historic, all-time Hollywood bad decisions that will be remembered till the end of time. That's your legacy. Books will.
Dude, it gets comparisons. People ask me, is God of War Ragnarok the TLJ of God of War? And I'm like, still, that is TLJ's reputation. It's did it destroy the franchise? I was hoping that would happen in a dictionary sort of sense. What does TLJ mean? It's destroyer of franchise.
It kind of does.
It's the perfect opposite to The Empire Strikes Back, which is considered, at the peak, the elevation of the trilogy, the inverse.
But then Ryan, in some way, sees his movie as being comparable to Empire. His rationale was like, well, people criticized Empire when it first came out, and now it's regarded as the greatest Star Wars movie ever. So that's clearly going to happen to me.
Is such a fucking lie. When Empire came out, we couldn't stop talking about it. We couldn't stop watching it. It was the greatest thing we'd ever. So we're like, what the fuck? No way! They did the Han Solo got frozen. And they ended what? That's great. You know, it was great. It was great. We were buying all the toys. That is like, stop with that fucking narrative. A couple of critics didn't like it because critics didn't like sci-fi shit back then. They didn't like Spielberg movies. They didn't like George Lucas movies. That was pretty freaking normal back then. Remember, these are the same idiots who chose Chariots of Fire over fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark as best picture. Annie Hall over Star Wars as best picture. These are retards, and they're retards then, and they're retards now. That was never a narrative. That's bullshit. Empire Strikes Back was insanely popular, insanely fucking popular.
But did you believe his excuse? Did any of y'all believe his excuse when Johnson said he likes to create films that half the audience loves it and half the audience hates it? Or do you think that was the same thing that Marvel did when they said, well, She-Hulk was this way because we were trolling the fans?
I think in Johnson's case, he probably does love it. I think he gets off on the fact that like people fucking hate his movie, and like he knows that like it can never be unmade, it can never be undone. It's always going to be there, just pissing people off. And yeah, I think whatever personality he's got, whatever drives him, that just seems to give him energy, and he seems to love it.
I guess if you
it's the same reason that. Yeah, I was just going to say it's the same reason. Like when he gets interviewed about it, and it's like, would there be anything you would change about it? Anything you could improve upon? Do you think any of this criticism is valid? He's like, nope, not valid. It's perfect.
So he's passive aggressive, basically. He's like, yep, I've stuck this out there forever.
It's pretty much, yeah. And I think I've seen people with that exact same mentality on social media where they've been arguing with someone about that film, and they don't like the person that they're arguing with, and they've just pretty much said, well, the fact that it pisses you off just makes me more determined that it's like the greatest movie ever made. And I thought, okay, cool. If that's your rationale for liking a film, fair enough. I can't argue with it.
Right.
No, you can't argue with the insecurity, because that's what it is. Because
if you've literally divided your audience, you might as well call yourself a provocateur.
You might as well.
Pretty much.
Like, and maybe that's what he believes, but like I believe that somebody who is truly secure and a grown ass man can go, you know what? Yeah, I didn't pull some stuff off. I'll do better next time. Just some humility. It plays way better, for one, if you actually care, but they don't, because ego, nothing trumps their ego. It's more valuable to them than money is their image. That's been a Hollywood thing forever. And then once in a while, when you see a filmmaker just come out because they really just love film, and they go, you know what? Yeah, maybe I kind of messed up on that one. I'll try better next time. People like that person better. Joel Schumacher comes out later and goes, you know what? I fucked up, Batman. Sorry. And people love it.
It's great.
Well,
when
Tim
people
Miller even said, like, kind of like, Dark Fate was a real fucking mess, and I shouldn't have done it.
Hey, Gary Schumacher walked so that Nolan could run. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.